Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Call the City Council of West Liberty to order. First is the roll call. We are joined by Councilmember Parizek, Councilmember Dominguez, Mayor ProTem McFerren, and Councilmember Shiltz. And Councilmember Martinez said that he would see folks tonight, so we'll probably have him here in a few minutes. So first item then is approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We move to item 3, which is approval of the consent agenda. And we have 3 things there. First of all is the council minutes from April 21st, 2026, the special meeting minutes from April 24th, 2026, and the special meeting minutes from April 27th, 2026. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and we move to item 4A, which is a 12-month Class B retail native wine license for 3B's Floral LLC. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and we move to item 5A. And first up is the city engineer's report, which is in part of the packet. He mentions the meeting with the folks affected by the 6th Street situation. It sounds like Councilmember Parizek was there. I was on with Zoom and felt like, and Councilmember Shiltz was there as well.
Yes.
So great. So I join with the comment that was made that it seemed like a good meeting and a productive meeting. Any thing else about that or other things that are in the city engineer's report?
Thought there was a lot of good discussion. There's a pretty decent turnout for question and answers. So I think a lot of people that had their questions got it answered last night, and the ongoing forum that they're going to be able to use to keep up with the project was thrown out there. So it's week by week they can keep up to it if they want to. Yeah.
Anything else? Anything else with the city engineer's report? Hearing none, we'll move on to the city manager.
Mr. Mayor and Council, I'm just going to give a quick verbal report, and then I'll include this information on my next report, written report. West Liberty Foods in the city had a meeting with Voucher and ProTem on May 4th to go over the phase 1 project and the costs and that equipment that's identified for the processing of West Liberty Foods waste. This Thursday, they have set a tour with Craig, the West Liberty Foods team, and then Jason McKenzie from Voucher and Chem will be present. They're going to do a tour and walk through so they can take a look at the aged equipment, the 30-year-old equipment, and what's proposed in there for replacement, and how, again, what that portion of that is that's identified as cost with West Liberty Foods as part of their processing. So in addition to that, then I'm currently working on options for West Liberty Food to be presented with our legal counsel, John Danos with Dorsey and Whitney, with regards to the pay for the cost of those upgrades. So we'll have more of that information in the future for council to consider. Good news is we closed out today the FEMA disaster from the storm in 2024 today with the federal side of it. And now we're processing to finish up with the state side of it. We have completed the final category F, which was the electric pole replacement project. And so we have received the final invoice so we can submit the rest for reimbursement for that project back to the electric fund. With development economic, city staff, we met with Mr. Geary and MMS Consultants on April 24th. We discussed moving forward with a development agreement, an urban renewal plan for consideration of tax increment finance for the housing development. In addition to that, we went through some questions for applying for the Iowa Workforce Grant, and Phil is not here, but Mr. Weiss from We Lead has been working with the state and with the county assessor's office on some questions with regards to taxation. So we can proceed with filing for that program for Mr. Deepak's housing addition. In addition to that, we also had a meeting with Matt Doffelt family that evening. They presented a preliminary plan for a housing addition that would be north of the 17th Street, formerly known as Dave Dvorak's property that he had annexed in a portion of that property back in 2018, 2019. And so the Matt Doffelt's family has acquired that. In addition to that, they've acquired more land, and there's potential that we're going to start with one phase, and that will be rolled out to the public this Friday during the We Leads quarterly meeting. So I believe, Mr. Mayor, you'll be talking a little bit more about that during that time. Then this week we have an important meeting on Thursday coming up with Life Raft. Life Raft is looking at purchasing back at Liberty Park some additional parcels for developing the industry there versus where they now are located. And so there'll be some more conversation with We Lead and Life Raft, and I believe, Mary, are you going to be attending?
Yeah, I am
as
going
well?
to be attending that.
So we'll have some more information with regards to that too coming up. In addition to that, we've had ongoing conversations with the group that is for the West Liberty Youth Center. I volunteered Brittany Woodson to attend the meetings right now as we're in an interim with our chief of police and our library director. Their meetings don't coordinate, so she's working at the library, so it makes it a little complicated. And since Brittany, we share Brittany as a resource with the library, and as part of communications, she was a great person to have working with them. So we're continuing trying to work with them as they're identifying how to organize that for the youth.
Not for the summer.
No.
Well, yeah, I think that's what they're trying to identify.
Okay.
Yeah, and they kind of hit some challenging things, but they're working through them, and we're also looking to see what our programs, if there's a possibility with the recreation and the library programs, on how we can coordinate some of that with a summer program. But right now they've not been able to identify staffing, having someone here to be with the students, and I think they're still working through those grant options.
But it would be beyond the summer, wouldn't it? If which why I said no is that they were looking at ongoing positive recreation activities for young people.
My understanding, and Brittany, you're welcome to communicate, but my understanding that they had posted information publicly that they wanted to focus primarily on summer, and because with the pool closure, and then in addition to that, if that goes well, then they wanted to do an all year round for after school, to give students another option besides staying at school or doing things maybe that are not so good as an idea. But I think that they found themselves like summer's going to be here, and we still have some unanswered things. So, but they are working diligently and trying to figure these things out. Anything else to add?
For funding and staffing, just with grants are mostly already out of season. They're hoping to be open for mostly August, the month before school, as a trial run. If that goes well, they'll look into transitioning more to an after-school program until next summer, at which point they would be a full-time option.
And then the city clerk, she submitted the RFPs to the local financial institutions. That was yesterday, correct? And so we've got some responses that they've confirmed receipt of those, and we'll look forward to seeing what we get for response from those. I did provide you email correspondence with regards to the EMS, the ambulance. There's been a little bit more information that's come in today, but I had not had time to organize it. Once I have time to organize it, I'll get that presented. Based on what I'm reading today, I believe there's still an identification of an opportunity for a ambulance that's from the Wapello. And it's my understanding that Wapello is going to create a lease agreement for consideration for the city temporarily until a replacement ambulance can be process can be completed. And congratulations, the individuals in the department they had applied for a grant with Carver Trust, and they and communicated they were awarded $75,000 to work with. So they'll be so that will be part of that. And again, I just need more time to articulate all of the communications that are coming in, but just trying to keep everybody informed the best they can about that. So that's it, unless anybody else would happen. You've already talked about the E6 meeting last night. And then I can let the employee committee, they can provide a report on our meetings. But if you have any other questions, just let us know.
Are there any further questions for the city manager? All right, we'll move to the employment procedure and policy committee. Councilmember Shiltz chairs that. So
yes, we did get together. We covered quite a bit of things. We discussed quite a bit about within the police department and concerning the private group page on Facebook in the community, and kind of the relation there and how we can continue moving forward with communication to the community that's accurate and clear, as well as making sure that community members know how to reach us if any concerns or thoughts and proper avenues. I know city administration and staff have been busy with multiple other things too that without saying things not able to say, I know more information will be presented to council at the appropriate time, as well as us that were on the committee. Everybody else jump in. What else to add to that? It was a good discussion, catching up on everything going on, and like I said, I know there's more. So.
Anything to add to that?
Nope.
Okay, yeah, I think so too. All right. So I think the only other thing I reported last council meeting about the West Liberty and Rural Trustee Fire and Rescue Agency meeting. We'll be meeting again this next Monday night, which will be the 11th, I believe. Yes, the 11th at 6:30 at the fire station. That again is an open meeting that anyone can attend. We don't have the agenda yet for that. As Lee stated, there's been quite a bit going on, as we talked about during the last council meeting. One of our ambulance died. The report that I got at the time was that it would be around $25,000 to replace the engine in that unit, and that there were some other things that needed to be resolved as well. The correspondence since then has been about this lease agreement. Initially, we were asked if we could address that tonight. we felt that that needed to be reviewed by legal counsel before bringing it to the council so that we knew that all the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed before we move forward with that. It's been a little bit confusing to me. I'm still not 100% sure why the option of improve or changing the engine out hasn't been explored. I think we'll get more information on that at our meeting this next week. And then how soon the Carver grant, which is excellent news, can kick in and help with that situation as well.
It sounded like from the chief's email that they had the check in hand.
Yes,
So
yeah, they have, yeah. So I think it's a matter of finding the right purchase then. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, anything else on that? Council reports.
I did meet with Library Director Allie Smith the other day just to kind of catch up on things, and for the most part, I know they're still tackling thoughts and a plan for replacing the roof. Also, we caught up on kind of budget items. I guess I could say that I think the library staff as well as their board and with working with city manager first have kind of tackled their budget with some of the monies that they're not going to be getting in the next year. I think they have found some creative ways to work around that and to still add different activities for the community going forward as well. So the library's doing good.
Okay, thanks. Are there any other council reports?
I am.
Okay.
Couple things. Some updates. I've been working with Seeker Strategies through Local Progress for some edits and reviews for op-ed that they want to pitch to their New York Times contact, which will be great to get some notoriety to West Liberty. I'm really trying to push a lot of the accomplishments that our town has done in the past few decades, because as we know, the more visibility we have, the more other people notice and bring opportunities to us. So that's been really important for me this year, and I think it's been working. I won't be at the next council meeting because I'll be in Los Angeles at the workshop for Local Progress. And I also attended the LULAC statewide conference this weekend, which is really great. I saw Phil Weiss there for a moment, and then Giselle, our president of the local chapter, was also there. Father Martin was also there, so it was good to see some West Liberty folks, but we had folks from all over the state. And I was on a panel as well with a couple of other elected officials to talk about West Liberty and how to strengthen communities. And I think that's it.
Okay. All right, any other council reports? We will move to item 6A, vendor voucher claim list number 1 in the amount of $245,083.81. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Is there discussion?
I had a couple questions.
All right.
Sorry, I'm chatty one today. Numbers line 7 and 8 for Dorsey and Whitney for the 6th Street project. I just thought that was pretty high for our 6th Street project for $17,000 and $11,000, and wanted to know if I was missing something and why we were.
Those are the administrative costs for bonding.
Okay,
That's the
Jeez
legal word
Louise.
for bonding.
Golly. Okay, that makes sense. And then the other thing is just a suggestion for the future, number 70. Oh, that's the prepaid claims list. Is it the same?
No,
Or is that a different?
next is the library. So this would be part of this one.
Oh, okay. So where it just says employee reimbursement for personal car use, just to have the person. I know in the past we've always put the employee.
We don't put the employee's name, we just put employee on there.
Oh, Okay, I must
It's
be
the same thing
misremembering.
with deposit refunds for the customers. It will just say customer refund or customer deposit.
Okay. All right.
We've been encouraging use of the city car whenever possible to
Mhm.
reduce costs.
Sometimes we have multiple meetings.
Yeah,
But Councilmember Dominguez, you're welcome to reach out and you can, if you have questions with regards to it. Or if you want to review the reimbursement, you're always welcome to.
But what I was thinking of like auditing, so we can always find out who that person was if the auditor wanted.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, because I was like, oh,
Yep.
10 years from now, we don't know who that person was.
No, we
Okay.
have the reimbursement claim
Yeah.
with the claim documents, but for
Okay.
the claims record that goes into the paper and stuff, it just specifies employee, but the customers and the employees, we have all the
Okay,
documentation.
perfect.
for that.
That's the only thing I was worried about.
I promote that the city cars are used for whoever's going to bar this, but
Yeah.
but that could change with the number of people that were going to a conference or something, and if we would save more money by having more people in the car at a shorter distance, we do that, so. Okay, are there other questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and we move to 6B, library, prepaid claim list in the amount of $7,706.68. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and we move to item number 7, which is the time for public comment and or correspondence. And so this is for items that are not on the agenda, and no action can be taken because they're not on the agenda. We ask that folks who want to address the council, that they state their name and address for the record and keep comments to no more than 2 minutes. Are there any public comments? Are there any public comments? Are there any public comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to city council public comments and or correspondence. Councilmember Martinez.
I have a few community members reach out from First Street around Friendship Fork. I guess they're still concerned with speeding happening down First Street, and they think it's part of West Virginia food employees that are running late. They're wondering if they can put I know there's a yield there down to Miller, across from First Street. They've noticed there's more continuous speeding there at certain times of day. I think they said between like 2 and 4 p.m. around there. They're wondering what it would take to put a four-way stop there, because obviously there's the summer coming around. There's more children playing at that park, and I've been out there too, and there's a lot of children riding their bikes or they're out there playing, or obviously the basketball teams are out basketball. They just didn't know what, if so, of what we could do to put the stop sign, or what we can do, monitor traffic through that intersection.
I noticed that Officer Jordan was taking notes about what you were saying, and we'll report that back to the chief on that part of it. The assessment of four-way stop or whatever would be.
The clerk
things that-
and I will look in our ordinances. It will be a 2-part process, so have the chief follow up with traffic control and work with them to the ordinance portion.
Yeah, thanks. Yep. Councilmember Fulton.
I have nothing.
Mayor ProTem McFerren. Councilmember Dominguez.
The only thing I would add is I had a conversation at the LULAC conference with another LULAC member who had told me that they had created an honorary street sign because I was explaining how it's really complicated to change a street name, and she'd come up to me and said, "Oh, we went through all of that and we found the greatest solution for an honorary or street sign." She said it was a lot simpler, and I thought about Father Guillermo and things like that. So maybe I'll talk to you about it, Mayor, later.
Sure.
But I got a picture of it and everything that I can share with you. It's looking pretty cool. So
Okay, thanks.
that's it.
Councilmember Parizek.
Oh, and probably was brought up like just the email, and I just got it, or the concerns with some of the police activity around and stuff, and I'm confident that because it went to the chief too, the act, so that they'll give it the attention it deserves,
Right.
and just be able to have a good discussion on it because the support from this between the police department and the town is crucial to make everything survive and be happy.
I can follow up. Mayor and I, we've been having communications with interim chief Holmes. At this point in time, we only have 2 written formal complaints. And those are currently right now being reviewed with our legal counsel. As we thought it might be best to have legal counsel and maybe in consideration having a third party interview, review this information. So that way it presents that we're not just keeping it in-house, okay? And then, so those are being reviewed, and then the next part of it, interim chief Holmes, mayor and myself are working on establishing a departmental meeting just to, again, provide the support, listen to our officers, but also then provide the expectations that maybe just have not been clarified or was missed in their, onboarding, and communicating the expectations to, yes, we understand our police officers have a job to do. They're enforcing our codes and law. In the same time, we're asking for a balance with our community for community policing. So again, we'll get that and then we'll provide a follow-up after the mayor and I have had that conversation with the department. But I want to also recognize in the last week, I've also seen and I've received in person some positive communication at the school and from individuals, talking about things that they've positively seen. They're not comfortable with social media. And then in addition, I think there was some positive social media posts about that recognizing community policing when they're seeing it. So
It would remind me of one more thing, like, a couple of people that don't know each other in different occasions have said that live out in Elder Ridge have said that they've seen our police patrolling Elder Ridge. And I wasn't sure if that was part of their patrol or allowable because they're supposed to be in.
So what has occurred is that there would be mutual aid communications, specifically if the sheriff's department possibly has a call, but they don't have a deputy that's on this side. And part of the mutual aid agreement is that West Liberty then would go patrol or go look into a map or situation. And most of the calls for individuals that are interested, most of the calls can be provided through a public records request with MUSCOM. And so it could be identified if there was a call.
Yeah.
But a lot of times my understanding is it's and Officer Jordan, I mean, I know we're putting him in, we don't want to put him on the spot. He's still brand new, but I know over the past couple of months, there's been quite a few mutual aid calls because Muscatine County deputies are not near the location, but we have an officer, so.
For instance, like we responded to infant medical and sometimes county 15, 20 minutes away, we can get there in 5.
And that's kind of what I explained today. I said if there was a call, it would make sense that the police would be there. But I don't know if they were patrolling or just coming from a call or even like scoping out, like if there was a suspicious whatever. I mean, I explained that to them too. So
I know that that's one of the items that the mayor and I are looking to identify. Just as you're asking, and again, just from transparency and the public understanding of, if you see officers that are outside the city limits, And it's been communicated, but it just a reminder that there is, mutual aid support that does occur and again, sometimes it may be just, hey, I haven't been able to patrol the area, would you please take a lap around for
Yeah.
us? And, it's, yeah.
It goes both ways too.
Yeah.
They help us out all the time. Like
Yeah.
oftentimes I've been at the jail and they'll come help
Mhm.
somebody in town, sheriff's office, they're really good with.
Yeah.
Returning the favors, without a doubt.
Thank you.
Do you have more to report on, contacts and correspondence?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, how about the city clerk? All right, then we'll move to item number 8, which is 8A, discussion and appropriate action by the City Council of West Liberty on the event request and street closure application from Francisco Martinez, Latinos Unidos, West Liberty for the festival on September 12th, 2026. I will mention that he contacted me tonight and asked if he should be here, and I said I thought we would be okay, but I hope I spoke well for the council on this. But we need to have discussion and then a motion, and then we will have a consent vote. So is there discussion?
They do this every year and it always comes off really well, so
Yeah.
it's well designed and everything. I think everybody has a good time, so.
Right, yeah.
And Mr. Mayor, they've provided, and I know that they prior to the event, they always provide insurance and
Yeah.
and they're very diligent about that. And I would be definitely in support of, I do set aside a little additional funding for the children's festival and this festival, because I think it's important for public sanitation to have affordable restrooms.
Yes, yeah, I
So,
think so too.
So we are able to do that.
Is there further discussion?
I remember last year they said they ended up giving them more portables last year, or did we give them the same as the years before?
I included additional ADA because based on their crowd numbers, in order to be in compliance, we provided an additional ADA, and I believe we provided an additional hand wash station too.
And they were fine with that.
Yep, they were very appreciative.
I know last year they had requested something, I just didn't know if it was more portables or something else.
Yeah.
I've been working with Francisco and with Antonio about renting a bandstand from Coralville for this year's event. And so I know they're actively working on this, and it's a major highlight of our community each year. So. All right, is there further discussion? Is there a motion?
Motion to go ahead and approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is it all in favor signify by saying aye?
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and we move to item 8B, discussion and appropriate action by the city council on event request and street closure application from the Heritage Foundation for their event on July 4th, 2026. I signed this application, and my recommendation is that we discuss what's critical here is that Elm Street is used a great deal for emergency transport. And there's a meeting of the Heritage Foundation Tuesday night. I'm on that board. And so I want to talk with them. I would recommend that we table this and address this after we've had a discussion with the Heritage Foundation to make sure that that's clear for emergency transport. City clerk, if the council chose to do that, would they need a motion to table?
Yes.
Make motion to table.
Second.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and we move to item 8C, resolution 2026-0505, item 336, a resolution to approve payment application number 1 to Triple B Construction for the East 3rd Street reconstruction project from Columbus Street to Corn Street in the city of West Liberty, Iowa. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Shiltz,
Yes.
McFerren,
Yes.
Parizek,
Yes.
Dominguez.
Yes.
Martinez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
We are now to 8D, Resolution 2026-0505-337, a resolution amending the date for bid levy for the electrical portion of the East Sixth Street reconstruction project set on April 21st, 2026 by resolution number 2026-0421-334 in the city of West Liberty. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
This is just switching the date. Engineer Lenny Larson had reached out and let me know that they have it on the 14th at 2 p.m. instead of the 15th as we originally set it.
Is there further discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Dominguez,
Yes.
Parizek,
Yes.
McFerren,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Martinez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
We move to item 8E, Resolution 2026-0505-338, a resolution setting wages for the Financial Administration Department. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
McFerren,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Parizek,
Yes.
Dominguez.
Yes.
Martinez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
We're now to item 8F, Resolution 2026-0505-339, a resolution approving payment of $5,000 in local option sale tax funds as the City of West Liberty's matching contribution for the Historic Neighborhoods Historic Preservation Sign Program. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
I remember doing this before, right? Yes.
It had been a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there further discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Schultz,
Yes.
McFerren,
Yes.
Parizek,
Yes.
Dominguez.
Yes.
Martinez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Now we're to item 8G, and I should have checked with the city clerk on anything upcoming and should have had a conversation about that because I don't remember anything out of the ordinary for the next council meeting.
For Mr. Mayor, we would have a work session. I do not have a specific item unless council has a recommendation of something that they would like to hear on for that work session.
What's the work session on?
That's what I'm asking.
Oh.
What would you like the work session? Session. Yeah. Yeah. So,
But I might be able to zoom in.
Yeah.
We can let folks know if you do have something you'd
Yeah.
like to have in the work session.
We'll also have the public hearing for
For
the
the-
East Sixth Street.
Thank you.
electric.
in addition to that, I did communicate with the mayor. I will be providing the city staff with the city supervisors with performance evaluation process and documentation. So we'll start the work of a performance evaluation. And so I spoke with the mayor and I think he will follow up with you with regards to the clerk and the city manager's evaluation. And that's all I have.
Okay. All right, so we have 3 young people that have sat through this as part of a class assignment. If council members would wait for a minute to see if they have specific question for you when we're done, and also we'll have Brittany take a picture with the students that came tonight. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and we are adjourned.